Hello my students, today we will complete solving the science revision sheets. This is Miss Mary and this is the fourth video in solving the revision sheets. We'll solve about fossils. First question, match each term in column B with its meaning in column A. So we have here column A with many sentences and column B with many letters. We have to write the specific letter or the correct letter in the space beside each sentence. So let's start with question 1. In question 1, the study of fossils. The study of fossil or the science of fossil, we call it, yes, paleontology. Paleontology. Again, paleontology. So, first question, letter A. Question 2. A type of fossil formed when minerals fill the space left after an organism remains dissolved. Do you remember this type of fossil that form from cast and mold? And we said that the mold is a hollow space and the cast is the made of minerals and these minerals fill the space. What fills mold? Yes, it's called cast. So letter F. Question 3. Teeth, bones, and animals' footprint. The animals' footprints and bones, we call all of them, we call them, yes, trace fossil. Trace fossil, letter B. Question 4. The hollow space that is left after an organism remains dissolved. This hollow space is called mold. Called what? Mold. Letter C. Next question, question 5. The type of fossil that preserves the whole organism in sap or ice. When the whole organism, all the parts of the organism is covered by sap or ice, we call this kind of fossils, we call it amber fossils, like the mammoth. This is called amber fossil. Letter E. So now we'll go to the next question, multiple choice. In question 2, multiple choice, first one. In which type of rocks are most fossils formed? Which kind of these rocks we find in it fossils? If you remember, we said that this kind of rock, sedimentary rock, is the best kind of rocks to find in it fossils because, as we said, it doesn't require heat or temperature or pressure. So the sedimentary rock is the best kind for fossil formation. So letter C. Next question. Question 2. A bird leaves a footprint in the mud. The mud hardens into stone. What kind of fossil is this? When the bird leaves footprint in the mud and the mud hardens and leaves the footprint inside the mud or the rock, this is kind of, yes, this is called trace fossil. So the trace fossil, anything left from the animal, like a tooth, footprint, piece of the skeleton, anything left from the animal, we call it trace fossil. So letter D. Next question. Which fossil method can preserve a whole animal? As we said in the previous question also, that the fossil that keeps the whole animal in ice or sap, this is called, yes, trapping in amber. Trapping in amber, letter B. Next page, question 4. Which layer is probably the newest? Which one of these? Let's say that here we have different layers of rocks. Layer J, H, G, and F. So here in this question we need to know which layer is the newest one and which one formed newly. So the newest one will be on the top because down it formed from long time, but letter F or the first layer here, it didn't take that much of time. So letter F is newest layer because it's on the top. So any layer on the top is the newest. So we will choose letter F and here will be letter A. Question 5. Which is not considered a fossil? Which of them is not a fossil? Ant trapped in amber, dinosaur footprint, cast of a shell, or a piece of rock? Actually, all of them are fossils except a piece of rock. A piece of rock alone is not a fossil, so letter D. Which kind of rock would you find a fossil? Granite, and if we know that granite is kind of igneous rock. Marble is a metamorphic rock. Sandstone is a sedimentary rock. Sandstone is the only one here that is sedimentary rock, so we will choose letter C, sandstone. Question 7. What is amber? Amber is a hard shell insect in hardened tree sap, a hollow space, or wet sticky tree sap. If you remember, the amber fossil is a fossil that keeps the whole animal, so it will be insect in hardened tree sap, so it will be letter B. Question 8. Which of the following is an example of trace fossil? As we said, trace fossil is anything left from the animal. It can be preserved footprint or saved footprints, mold and cast, hardened tree sap, or a frozen mammoth. The only trace fossil here is, yes, the saved footprints while the animal walking on wet mud. The animal leaves the hollow space, or they leaves the footprints, and when the mud dries it keeps the shape of its footprints, so it will be letter A. Question 9. Which of the following is a trace fossil? Here also. A mark left by a dinosaur's tail. While the dinosaur was walking, the tail hit a rock and left a mark. A mosquito trapped in amber, a mummified plant seed, or frozen woolly mammoth. The mark that left by the dinosaur tail, this is a trace fossil, so we will choose letter A. Question 10. What can animals' tracks tell about the animal? What does the footprint tell about the animal? It tells what the animal ate, the kind of food, or how big it was, or its color, or its mating habits. So we know from the animal's footprint, we know the size or how big it was, so it's letter B. Question 3, short answers. In this question we have to write the 5 types of fossils. How many types of fossils we have? We have 5 types of fossils. Let's write them down here. Number 1, amber fossil, and the amber fossil, as we said, it keeps the whole animal. Number 2, trace fossil, and as we mentioned before, it's anything left from the animal like bones, teeth, footprints, all of them. Next. Number 3, carbon film. The carbon film for very soft organisms, when they are kept between 2 rocks, they make a very thin layer called carbon film. Next one, petrified wood, and from its name, this kind of fossils found in for trees, is specific for trees and for wood of trees. When the wood falls down underground by heat and pressure, they change to rock, and this kind of fossil is called petrified wood. Question 5, number 5, cast and mold, and as we said, they fit together like pieces of puzzles. Okay, so the 5 types of fossils again: amber fossil, trace fossil, carbon film, petrified wood, cast, and mold. So question 4. In this question, we have 6 wrong sentences. We have in each sentence the word that underlined is not true, or this word is wrong. So we have to replace this word with one of the words on the top or in the box. So let's start. In question 1, a carbon film can be footprints preserved in rock. If you remember, we didn't say that the carbon film is a footprint. The footprint is which kind of fossil? Yeah, so trace fossil. So instead of carbon film, we have to replace it by trace fossil. 2. A cast forms when a shell leaves its shape in the mud. The cast forms when the shell leaves its shape in the mud. No, it's mold. Question 3. A mummy is a scientist who studies fossils. The scientist who studies fossils, we call him, yes, paleontologist. Paleontologist. Question 4. A fossil leaf that is made only of carbon, preserved between two rocks or two rock layers, is called a trace fossil. No, the leaf that preserved between two rocks, we call it, yes, carbon film. Question 5. A mud forms when minerals fill a mold and harden. What fills mold? Yes, the cast. So instead of mud, it will be cast. Forms when minerals fill a mold and hardens. Number 6. A paleontologist forms when minerals replace the plant materials in a piece of wood. If you remember, we said when minerals replace the piece of wood, the wood changes into rock, and this is called, yes, petrified wood. So this was the last question in our revision sheet. See you and take care of yourselves and study well. Bye bye.